Hey everybody, I'm Eric Oberembt, and you're listening to Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. We talk about real shit, what's on our minds, and don't give a fuck if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. So sit back, strap in, and get ready for some real shit. What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Be Authentic or Get the Fuck Out. I'm your host, Eric Oberembt, back here at the Blue Collar American Dream Conference. And we've got a guest today. This is gonna be a fun interview. And I brought on my man, Dean White. Dean,
yes,
glad
sir.
to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Only a pleasure, dude.
Appreciate it.
Only
Hey,
a pleasure.
we have got an interesting story, I think. I'm interested to hear your story. I want to start everybody off on the fact that I am the man of second chances.
Dude, I was just about to say,
Right?
I was
so
wondering.
I believe, obviously, like my entire life is based on the fact that I was given opportunities, right, when maybe I shouldn't have been.
Right.
And
right.
our relationship literally started on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To give the people some context,
Please do.
I got my website fucking stolen by the goddamn Russians, basically,
Yeah.
and was shopping to figure out how we got something rebuilt. And we reached out to a couple of different people, and we reached out to you.
I run a web design agency
Yep,
in the
and
roofing
Dean,
space.
you run a web design agency. And Dean kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little
but
bit.
You tell everybody how the story went, and then I'll correct you if you're wrong.
Okay, cool. Because, it didn't just start off with you reaching out, hey, Dean, we need a website. And I
Yep.
was like, cool, let's do it. Thing is, the person that reached out to me that you decided to partner up with, I did a website for previously.
Right.
And it went really well. Good relationship, just really solid. So he called me up and he said, hey, Dean, it's urgent. Our website got hacked. We need something. I was like, hey, Matthew, listen, our prices have gone up. As long as you know that, I gave him the price. I didn't usually do that. I usually consult and figure out how we're going to get a certain result, and then we'll work backwards from that. But so I jumped the gun. I made it seem like I was just trying to sell a website, which is the opposite of what I do.
Right.
And, so it didn't look good. It didn't look good on my end.
I'm in the business of solving problems.
Yeah.
Right? And I was trying to solve a problem that I didn't know the answer to at the time. And I was trying to find somebody that could solve problems. And once we got down to brass tacks and really had a conversation about it, we figured out how to solve that problem.
Right.
Right? And those are the kind of people that I like to do business with, are people that not only want to solve the problem, but also take the time to own up if they make a little bit of a mistake, right?
Because I did make a mistake.
Yeah, and not a big one, not a huge fucking deal, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is that you owned that moment, right?
Yeah.
And that's the shit that I assume everybody watching and listening respects, right? Are people that own up to shit. When I sell a roof, or my guys sell a roof, first thing we tell clients is, this probably isn't gonna go perfectly. It's probably not, because it's construction and it's fucking messy and something might mess up. Here's what I'm gonna promise you. I'm not gonna promise you it's perfect.
I'll do whatever I can.
I'm going to promise you though, that if something does get fucked up, I'm gonna fix it.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm always gonna answer the phone when you call.
Yep.
Right? That's the lesson I think that goes in that. And we took that moment and turned it into a relationship.
Yeah,
right?
I'm glad we did, because we almost didn't do business together.
Right, and now we're friends.
Yeah, I think so too, more than friends. I think for me at least, I see a lot of value in what you're doing, the impact that you're having just on the community, in the space, on the industry. I want to be a part of that. So, I know you're a client of mine. You've paid me. In fact, we don't have any residual business going on at the moment. So, you're not paying me for anything, but I still try and do anything I can for you, because I appreciate the connection and the network, and that's why I try and connect you with
that's what this is fun.
With Lance. Exactly.
That's what makes this fun, right?
Yeah.
So tell everybody where the fucking funny accent's from.
I am from South Africa. Okay. That is where I'm from, born and raised. I left South Africa when I was 21. I had $3,000 to my name after one of my businesses crashed. Believe it or not, $3,000 is a lot of money in South Africa.
You were born in South Africa?
I was born and raised in South Africa. I'm South African. I have my ID says South African.
Yep.
And when I was 21, I had $3,000 saved up from a business that ended up crashing. And I bought a one-way ticket to the UK. And the whole goal was to just figure it the fuck out. That was my plan. And you don't even know this story. I don't think I told you this.
Okay.
But yeah, so I landed in the UK, no accommodation, one-way ticket, landed at Heathrow Airport. And
You're how old?
I was 21.
Okay.
And the plan was to figure it out. So what I did was I stayed in hostels, which is like shared rooms. And I walked into businesses pitching websites. That's how my business started. So I went back to the drawing board.
You knew how to build them yourself.
I knew how to build websites.
Okay.
I was already starting to like build a team. At that point, I've been like an entrepreneur for a few years because I used to play computer games. I was like really addicted to it, and then started making money online. And then I got into the website game, and then the reason that I went to the UK was because they make so much more fucking money than in South Africa. So I knew that the same product somewhere else, you'd get paid 10 times more, and that's the truth. So that ended up happening. It's not that I was particularly set on websites, or like the UK or like British people, but that ended up happening. It failed again. It didn't work out too well. But I met someone while I was over there, and we started a web agency together, and then that blew up. That taught me how to do websites at scale. So I then sold my shares in that agency, and I decided to like take everything I know up to that point and start a niche agency in the roofing space, right? Because that's an industry that makes
why roofing?
It makes a shitload of money. I mean, my clients on average, dude, I have clients that are like literally 20.
But who steered you that way?
I had another mentor. So I have mentors throughout my lifetime. Right now, Lance Buckman is my mentor. At the time, it was Chris. And Chris was the owner of a company called Launch Digital, and back then he did like $30,000 a month, and I thought that was mind blowing.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to him. In fact, I was actually really jealous in the beginning. I didn't reach out to him. Then I sent him an email, and I was like, you know what, dude? I think, the pie is big enough for us all to have a cut. I'd love to just like pick your brain for a little bit. If I can bring value to you in any way, I really like what you're doing. So to my surprise, he responded, jumped on a Zoom call, showed me what he's doing, and he gave me a bit of advice. He's like, niche down. I was like what? And he said roofing. And at this point, I've never been in America. I've never spoken to a roofing company. I was like, okay, and I planted the seed. I started building a website. I started getting on phone calls. I paid people $20 Starbucks gift cards all the way from South Africa. I use Cloud Talk on my phone. I get like a US phone number.
Yep.
On Facebook, I send them a message, hey, I'll give you $20 Starbucks gift card if I can just pick your brain for 20 minutes. So ask them, how does the insurance game work? How does the retail game work? How do you bring your business in? Oh, you knock doors. Oh, you actually generate leads. You buy leads. I was like, so it was all about understanding, my market. And, the more I understand the market, the more I network connect. Now I know how to deliver value. So now my websites, they're not cheap, but they get really good results.
Yeah.
My clients on average make more than $1 million additional income after working with me in their first year. So that's...
Well, the website you did for us was fire.
Thank you, bro.
So thank you.
Thank you.
How'd you get hooked up with Hunter at Revolt?
So the first time that I came to America, I decided to invest into getting a booth at RoofCon. I thought, hey, I'm in the roofing space. There's a few people that trust me. I'm like networking every day, like literally morning till night sending messages on Facebook. And so I put $6,000 down on a booth at RoofCon, and I arrived at RoofCon. Now keep in mind, one of my good friends was Sam Kohler. Sam Kohler is 24 years old right now. He did 15 million last year. When he started working with me, he did 1 million. But when he blew up, he went from 1 million to 15 million. Obviously, it's not just me building his brand, but he's got a sick brand. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite in my portfolio. But he got a lot of attention back then from Dmitry Lipinski, a lot of the people in the space. And him and I were rolling together at RoofCon because he's like my age and he was freaking crushing it. And we've got the same mindset. So I was around him at RoofCon. Hunter saw this. Hunter reached out to me. He's like, hey, you and Sam come through to one of the retreats. All expenses paid. Don't worry about it. Sam didn't go. I went. Met Hunter. Rest is history, dude. Rest is history.
The one thing that I've noticed about you, and I think that people can learn from you in this episode, is that you're not afraid to put yourself out there and talk to fucking everyone, right? And introduce yourself and make connections. Because I'll be completely honest, like, I'm fucking terrible at it. Like,
too,
I'm
bro.
the worst. Like,
Me too.
It is so much easier for me to stand on a stage and speak to 3,000 people.
What?
Love that.
No, that sounds scary.
Love that.
That sounds
I
awful.
hate sitting in a room like this and being like, I need to go
And
introduce
network
myself
and
and network, right? absolutely hate it. You put me on a one-on-one with somebody, I'll close you, right? You put me on a one,
Okay.
you put me in a one-on-one with somebody and
Yeah.
like having a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm a closer,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not a introducer guy.
Yeah.
Right? I hate that. And
I hate it too.
But that's the one thing that I know is my weakness.
Yeah.
And whether you hate it or not, though, you've got the balls and you've got the sack that you don't give a fuck who the person is. You'll go walk up and talk to them. And I think if people watching this, and myself included, could learn if that is a weakness, to take that to try and learn that skill, because it got you in a room with fucking Lance. It got you in a
Yes.
rowith Hunter. It
Yes.
got you in a room with all these
With
different
a lot of big
people.
people that I'm learning a lot
Yeah,
from.
and that you're learning from. And it's like, I don't know, that's the game we're playing,
Yeah,
right, man?
for
I mean,
real.
like, we all have a different widget, right? I tell this to my company, my employees all the time, is that like, roofing's just our widget, guys.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't
It's a
matter
means
if
to an end, really.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're doing websites or you're doing fucking whatever it is. It's what are you selling for revenue, so then you can take that revenue and go do something good with
Yeah,
it.
meaningful, impactful, something that
Yeah.
you get fulfillment from.
Yes.
But dude, you're right. I mean, like, no one, I don't like that. Speaking on stage, that scares the shit out of me. Why? Because I've never done it.
Right.
Now, this whole thing with like going up to people, even you, bro, you're extremely intimidated. Look at you, bro. You're a
It's
legend.
a big
You're,
fucking picture of me.
you're a
yeah.
legend in this industry, dude. And
That just means I'm old.
no, no, it means you're an OG. Like literally, 50% of the photos of you in it, you're like this. You're like,
Yeah.
fuck everyone. I do whatever I want. You've got 2 locations. You do a few million. You've got partners that, on their own are pretty successful, but decide to ditch all that shit and join you. There's something to be said about that. So you're truly are a legend. But yeah, like I said, even going up to you, it's scary. But for me, I know that.
Hey, I want to dig into that for a second, because I get that a lot after somebody gets to know me. After they get to know me a little bit, then they'll come up and be honest.
It's like
And
a
they'll be
hot girl, bro.
And they're like, I didn't want to talk to you. Like, am I scary?
No, dude, it's just like it's like a hot chick. Like they could reject you. You could point out all my weaknesses or flaws in me. If I came up to you, you could.
Do I seem like the guy that would do
No,
that?
you don't. But I mean,
On the outside, if you
hot
don't know
chicks,
me yet.
do hot chicks seem like that? You don't know. You don't
Yeah.
know who they are on the inside, but they still have that potential.
They're
to
usually
crush.
dead inside.
Well, dude, the funny thing about like hot chicks, or even like big business dudes, is like, I still shit myself. I really do. But when I go out, the first thing that I do is like, I'm not kidding. I do this almost every time. I find the most beautiful girl there, and I'll go speak to her. That's the first person that I speak to, and it's not to get her number or to sleep with her or to do anything funny like that. Like literally, no. It's to break the ice for myself, so that I know that I've done that, and like,
So it's kind of like the analogy of going to jail, pick a fight with the biggest motherfucker,
and then there.
and set the tone for the rest of the fucking cell block.
It's a little different, but
Same idea, though, yeah.
Same idea, but
Yeah.
like or when I'm out somewhere and I see like someone that I'm attracted to, and I might not even be feeling myself too much, and I get that feeling inside, which is that like scared, oh shit, should I,
Fear.
shouldn't I? Fear.
Yeah.
When I get that feeling, I go fuck, because I know that I'm gonna have to do it. Because if I don't do it, I'll feel 10 times worse.
Yes.
So I'll go up there and I'll get rejected. Like I'll get rejected more often than I won't, right? Because I'm not shooting my shot at like low end stuff. But
Yeah.
But I'll walk away like this. Thank you, thanks that I did it.
Right. Thanking yourself.
Thanking myself.
Yeah.
Yes. Because like, if I didn't, I know that I would be awkward for the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
I would feel like anxiety and.
So let's talk about real quick. I know it's not live yet, but what you're building now. What you're building now with your
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's actually totally unrelated to like this whole event. Because this is a roofing event. It's like the
Yeah, we don't talk
construction.
about roofing here.
Okay. Well, because I run a web design agency, and I'm from a third world country, I figured it out from the beginning. No loans, no handouts, none of that. It's always been my mission. It's literally on my vision board, is to help young men, right? Because like, I have a history with my dad and stuff, and I always wanted to help guys figure out the stuff that I didn't until way later. And so I started making videos on YouTube on like how I do it, how I structure my agency, why I went niche, how do I find my clients, and it kind of just blew up.
Yeah.
And so now a lot of other young guys, like I get 10 to 20 DMs a day from guys sending me a message, like 16-year-olds, dude, sending me a message saying, hey, I made $7,000
I was
last
just going
month.
to say, we should clarify why you're getting DMs from 16-year-old guys. all day long on Facebook.
Yeah, well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Because they
Let's
say
be
stuff
clear.
like, you know, I'm an inspo or
Got it.
you know, but I just show them how to make money, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. And like, as long as you provide value and you believe in yourself, it's like, it starts with your mentality. You know, I was a loser in high school and primary school.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you a nerd?
I
or?
was like, if you take the whole spectrum of people and the 50% line, I was like maybe on the 50% line, maybe like 0.5% below. So I was on the majority losers, but
Yeah.
I wasn't really like loser.
Yeah.
I was like mediocre as fuck. And I think one day I just woke up and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I want to go to like beautiful places with beautiful people and have beautiful experiences.
So, okay, on that note, like, that's what I believe in as well. I think that we're here to have experiences,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We're here to have those experiences.
Is this okay, by the way?
I don't give a fuck what you do. We're here to, but the money that we make, if we just use it to buy boats and cars and all that shit goes away, but you know it doesn't? Memories.
Right.
Memories don't fucking go away.
Unless you have Alzheimer's.
Well, yeah, but then you don't know anyway.
Then you're fucked anyway.
You're fucked anyway.
Yeah,
So
okay,
just
that's true.
Just give up.
Yeah,
like you don't even know that you're fucking there. So yeah, I mean that's tough.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll get some fucking hate mail from Alzheimer's.
I'd rather have Alzheimer's in
society.
a fucking Bugatti than, you know, in an old age home.
Yeah, but it's all about experiences, and it's about giving experiences to your people that work for you as well, right?
Okay.
It's the reason that I'm trying to start this. Not trying. I'm starting this group, the Cult Culture Movement.
Yeah,
right?
super cool. So
and,
sick.
If you don't mind, like I want to talk about that. Like,
Dude, I'd love to.
We just got done speaking on stage about our team method, right?
Yeah.
And how we instill trust and empathy and authenticity and meaning into our people. And there's so many people out there that all they're talking about is how to sell more.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about how do we retain the talent
Right.
that we bring in.
Right.
So I'm starting a group. It's gonna have group coaching calls and private one-on-ones, and we're gonna do
Super cool, super
some
valuable.
fucking really cool group trips together where we're gonna do some trust exercises underwater.
Yeah.
Where we'll do some trust shit, empathy exercises in the middle of the fucking desert, and do some wild ass shit together and build that community. It's gonna be limited to 12 people.
Yeah.
12 people only. We're gonna make it really exclusive.
Dude,
but-
that's some high value stuff for companies that are like already up there.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, you know, the companies that invest into that, they're the big companies like Apple and Facebook that have the ability to now, like, what do they focus on a lot right now? They keep their employees happy.
Right.
They have to.
Right.
They create that Google environment, and, you know, they do that because they're at that point where they need to do that. But if you look at technology and the way AI is being used, like, companies can get to that point a lot sooner. They don't need, you know, they don't have to be $1 billion company to get to that point. Now it's very quickly going to be all about people, not necessarily just like laborers doing like typewriting. All these stupid tasks are going to go away, and people are going to become a lot more important.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is extremely important, and it's going to open up very quickly. The people that partner up with you, they're going to win in the long run.
Yeah, because
For
it's how do
sure.
we build those leaders underneath us, right?
It's exactly.
It's easy
It's
if
people.
there's only a few of you, right? But if you're going to have other people underneath you and then people underneath that, how do you get the people directly reporting to you to instill the same thing down the line, and then that person to instill the same thing down the line?
Yeah.
And it has to be passed down, right? And I
Yeah.
equate everything to like a sports team, right? But it's like when you graduate, did the people that are coming after you, did they buy into what you were doing so that those people can do it, you know, below you as well?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm really passionate about
No,
that.
dude. I mean,
so.
it makes a lot of sense. It's like, you know, within my company, I try my best to have that. Just fucking care about them. If
Care
I care
about
about them, they care about me.
Right.
You know, I tell everyone.
Motherfucker. Jesus Christ, there's a fucking camera right there. Jesus.
It's okay. Here's another one. 3, 2, 1, 2, boom. That was close. Maybe we need some tape, but
Yeah.
shame, man, poor guy. Yeah, dude. I'm just trying to. You can make some money, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, that doesn't bring you fulfillment. So what does bring you fulfillment? It's making an impact.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do we make an impact?
Which is why I love that you have the Revolt shirt on.
Which is funny
Yeah, I love it.
for its
But
own reasons.
I love that you do though, man. Like because you know that group of men is very close.
Average.
Yeah, like
Integrity, honesty.
That group of men is so close to my heart.
Yeah.
That I get to go to those events and I get to try and pour into them.
Yeah.
And then I get so much out of it, right? Like Hunter asked me to come to assist and like be a part of it, but like I get so much out of it.
That's so cool.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
it's
just
awesome.
Yeah, if you're not part of something, I guess the point of this is that if you're not part of something, if you don't have, you know, you were talking about having mentors, and if you don't have a coach or you don't have a mentor or you don't have a group of people that hold you accountable to fucking be better, then what the fuck are you doing? Right? You got to surround yourself with people that are
Facts.
continuously trying to be better in their lives, because it's the old adage, but like if you surround yourself with 5 fucking dope fiends, you're going to be the 6th. And if you surround yourself around 5 billionaires, you're going to be the 6th. So choose which one that's going to be, right? And it's no more apparent to me of somebody that's doing that in life than you right now. And so I appreciate that.
Bro, I appreciate you a
Absolutely.
Lot. A lot.
So at the end of these, the way that we always wrap them up is I always give the floor back to the guest for something that maybe I missed or we needed to expand on a little bit.
Okay.
But what do you want to leave the audience with?
Dude, you know what? Nothing except thank you, and like every human being, like something that helps me out a lot before I go out, or like in any situation, even a business situation. If you're watching this, maybe it's one of the young guys that on my Instagram that I linked this and now you're watching this podcast. Something that helps me out a lot is like I do a little meditation in my head where I visualize, and you'll understand in a second why this helps out so much. It helps out with like relationships, speaking to people, business, everything. I do a little visualization where I think about me on my own, right? And I just see the environments around me. And then at that point when I'm alone, all my problems are 100% my problems, right? So it's a lot to deal with. All my anxiety, it's so overwhelming. But then I start to see, like, I visualize Eric right next to me, and now all of a sudden my problems are only 50% of the problems in the room. And so I start expanding the visualization. So the whole room, there's like almost 30 people in here. That's like, so my problem is only 3% of this room.
Right.
I start visualizing more and more, and like eventually, like I try and like zoom out down the road and like apartment buildings, and I'm like 100,000 people, 1 million people, and I realize like I'm 0.0001% of it.
Love
and
that.
what I realize in all of that is that we're all just people. Like we might be at different levels, but the truth is, like, take that stuff away, you're just a human. I'm just a human, and we're just trying to figure out life.
Yep.
So that makes me not that scared to come up to certain people, or like
Love that.
That allows me to like let the anxiety like almost melt away.
Yeah.
I hope that helps you. If there's any value
That's fucking gold. That's gold. Guys, follow this guy, follow Dean. If you need a website and you're in roofing, fucking call this guy.
Or home services.
Because he is niched the fuck down.
And they're badass. They look good.
We won't be using that fucking look right
they
there
look
from
really
the camera. If you need a website, call Dean, follow Dean. What's your handles?
On Instagram, it's Dean X White, but on Facebook, it's Dean White. Or my company is called King Contractor Agency. You can go to kingcontractor.com.
Love that.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, share this shit. I don't have any fucking sponsors. I pay for all of this my own. So the cost of admission is share this if you got any value out of it. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. And remember, everybody, be authentic or get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of here.
If you can't be authentic, get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Get the fuck out if you can't be authentic. Yeah. Swipes.